Hey guys, it's Nuke once again with another topic. Welcome to the channel. Um, if you guys are new, uh, like I said, like and subscribe if you haven't been here before. Um, I'll put the link tree in the bio too, so you guys can follow. Also, follow me on Patreon if you guys want personalized dating advice. I kind of give really in-depth little hacks and things that'll get you a little bit ahead in today's dating market and things I've learned and. Um, Follow me on twitter.com, like the link says right there. And Instagram.com, same nuclearcaudillo on Instagram, nuclearcaudillo on Twitch. Um, let's get right down to it. I've been experimenting with stream elements. So for some reason, there's a whole bunch of messages of the stream elements bot running. I don't, it seems a little excessive. Also, guys, you guys can tip me through stream elements on my Patreon if you would like to. Not necessary, right? But if you guys would like to um, give me a little tip, I appreciate that. I've never asked you guys for anything, but the only thing is that I can't. Um, I don't because I'm not using OBS Studio. I can't see who tipped. I think that's how that works. So if correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm still learning. But yeah. Anyways, let's get started. So, um, we all know what chick crack is. If there's anyone that doesn't know, please sound off in the chat. But basically, chick crack is anything that allows women to think that things just happen because of a mystical, magical force. I know that's a very brute kind of like raw definition, but I think every guy that's dealt with women knows what chick crack is. Basically, chick crack is basically, your astrology, your MBTI, your 5 love languages, things outside of a woman that are like magical, that have influenced the world, influence everything, in which she can pass off either good or bad things about her, the men that she deals with, and the world in general. Women love this stuff. That's why we call it chick crack. It doesn't matter what IQ level. I know there was a study recently that talked about how lower IQ people believe in this stuff more than higher IQ. Um, but it seems to me, in my experience, that women of all professions, backgrounds, and stuff enjoy talking about it. And if they don't like astrology, they'll like the MBTI stuff. And if they don't like the MBTI stuff, then they like love languages, and it goes deep. Like there's apps for this, there's books about this, there's tests online. It just keeps going. And even me as a guy, I get caught up. I thought MBTI was real, but doesn't I don't think it is. I just men, we don't think like that. We kind of live more in reality. We kind of understand that we're the ones that change our environment around us, and then when we lose that ability, we get really depressed. That's where male depression comes off, is when we start believing we don't have agency in our own situation. um but yeah, that is basically how this works. So there's a lot different forms of there's probably more forms of chick crack. I wasn't tarot readings. um oh man, just anything. Like, it could be based in foreign religions, pagan religions. It can be based in almost like a pseudoscience like MBTI. Chick crack has many forms, but essentially it's something that women really love and latch on to, and they can talk about. So when you're on a date with a woman and these topics come up, and she throws out, "Oh, you must be a Gemini," or when were you born? I know a lot of guys, they're inexperienced guys. Their main instinct automatically is to dismiss the girl and like, that's not real, right? And understand that, especially for the higher IQ dudes, like, you need to dumb yourself down on a date. I'm not saying women are dumb, right? But this is just something. It's almost like a layup, you know. It's almost like you are given an easy opportunity to build attraction and comfort. She just put it in your hands, right? So when a girl brings up astrology or whatever form of shit crack, please don't back down. Please don't get annoyed. Just go with it. I know it's dumb, right? But go with it. Kind of laugh and spin it in your favor, right? Tease her with it. It's a layup. I said this on the Purple Pill podcast when that came up. I told the ladies that when you guys bring this stuff up to us, an experienced guy considers that a layup. It's easy to build attraction using chick crack, right? Don't you like Spencer says, never logic never got anyone laid, right? We got John Smith. What's up, man? Is this a skin suit stream you mentioned earlier? No, that's gonna be for another day. I kind of really want to go hard on that one, so I'll probably write some notes beforehand. We got Sloth in the chat. How you doing, Sloth? Zachary says mystical, magical, religious, supernatural, etc. Basically forms of escapism. Yeah, basically. We got Spencer in the chat. How you doing, Spencer? Logic never got anyone laid. Yeah. Logic is for like choosing where you live, how far away from the bars you are, all the stuff beforehand, like logistics, logic, logistics. It's in the word, right? But when you're in front of a girl on a date, kind of ease back on the logic and go more of like it's an art form. Dating game, it's all an art form. So you have to remove the logic and kind of be interesting and exciting, right? When you're watching a movie and some stunt happens, you don't want that stunt or that explosion or that movie scene or that car chase. You don't want someone next to you to be like, okay, so this is how they filmed that car chase. Basically, they took a stunt driver and they got a backup car. You don't want that, right? You want to enjoy the movie for what it is. So when a girl is coming to see you, you are her entertainment. And when you're being entertained, you don't want to explain how you're being entertained. You don't want what entertains you to be debunked. You just want to be entertained and consider it like that. You're going to the movies and you're trying to enjoy uh, a Michael Bay film, something with a lot of explosions that's ridiculous, but you want to enjoy it. So you don't want someone in your ear explaining to you how they did the scene. So take it like that perspective. Um, we got Never Relax. Good evening. What's up? Zachary says sitcoms aren't usually a good reflection of reality, but there's one where a man reveals to his wife that all their romantic encounters were pre-planned. She didn't take it well. Yeah, don't ever talk about the amount of work and energy it took you to set up a date. Women can't process that. I tweeted today that women see male self-improvement and like us trying to court them like we see astrology to them, right? So if you're looking at a girl talk about astrology and you realize how like dumb and annoying she is when she does this, that's how we sound to them sometimes. We're talking about, yeah, I had to plan the exact amount of like the alcohol you like. I had to stock it in my cabinet. I had to show up this at this time, so this, and then I had to set up, get a reservation. I had to do like a 20 to 30 things, right? And she's gonna be like, why do you work so hard? Like want just go to the place or just go up and talk to her or just get laid. It's because they just can't, it doesn't register for them. It doesn't meet, their lives are so different from ours. So when they think themselves about improving and stuff like that, it just doesn't register. It confuses the hell out of them. And King Trust Issue says they want you to play the game. Yeah, it's ridiculous that guys just want to explain the game. Don't ever explain the game. Don't explain red pill, for the love of God. Don't do that. They want to believe things just happen, like Never Relax says. Things just happened. Um, they don't want the game explained to them. They want it. They want you to just get it. And astrology is kind of like an extension of that thinking, right? It's magical thinking. They just want to believe that you just walked into their life magically and it was destiny, and she met the man of her dreams. Um, but we all know on our side that that's not true. There's a lot of planning and work and effort, and maybe even months of effort beforehand to get to a place where we could plan a date and do things right, to get her back to our place or to spike emotionally, right? She'll never want to accept that on the first date you had sex and it was just something that you had calculated out. That's why when we're on Twitter and I'm talking about this stuff, the girls like don't like it. It's because I am exposing. I'm like, it's like telling Santa Claus to them. It's like telling a little kid that Santa Claus isn't real, right? I'm ruining the fantasy, right? They don't want you to explain the fantasy to them. They want just to believe in the fantasy. And girls are masochistic and they go on and argue with us. And that's why I say it doesn't matter how much clout or followers or anything that a female dating coach has. Even if you've been on one date, you are more qualified to talk about dating than the most experienced female dating coach in the world. Simply because she's never had to plan a date in her life. She's never had to pass a shit test in her life. She's never had to come up with a neg her whole life. She's never had to, may have approached a man or two, but no man has ever been absolutely rude and dismissive of her. You know, most 99% of men will reject a woman very politely and kindly, or just ghost, right? So we got the Ocean Man here, right in the wave. And we got Never Relax Again with Carl said something about plausible deniability being huge to girls and explaining it probably ruins plausible deniability. Yeah, and that's another element of dating. They never had to come up with plausible deniability. So female dating coaches is a oxymoron. There's no such thing as a female dating coach. And I hope if there's any takeaway from my shows lately and my attitude is that there is no such thing as a female dating coach. They have nothing to offer you. They've never had the pressure of they've never had the pressure of doing all these things and then coming up plausible deniability. They just can't. That's just not in their biology and they never will. It never will be like that, right? So chick crack, very important. Just go along with it. So if she's on a date and she says, you look like a Pisces or a Gemini, just say, how did you know? And then just play along. Like, here's an example. You guys have the astrology talk, right? You get it out the way. It usually comes up on the first date. And then she says something or does something or coughs or does something weird or something. You call her out like, hey, the way you cut me off sometimes, it's a really Gemini thing to do. Just play, have fun. She's serving you an alley oop. All you gotta do is dunk it, right? So as the date continues, you tease her and you kind of like pull from the astrology kind of mindset of the girl or MBTI or whatever tarot cards or love languages. Um, and you kind of just have fun, play with it. It's a tool in the toolbox now, and whenever she does something or you do something she doesn't like, just say, "Excuse me, it's just the Pisces in me," right? And then smile, because girls like that. It's very fun. You're here, you're on the date to play and have fun. The date isn't an interview. If you feel like it's an interview, you're failing, right? Obviously, you ask some questions to show interest, but you let the conversation flow. You don't stay stuck to one subject. You let her kind of answer. You maintain your life as much of a mystery as possible, and then you focus on the things that are fun for her, which is astrology. So, yeah. So Ocean Man says, "Chick crack easy astrology. They eat it up like children in a canister." Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. Um, just like a Taurus, exactly. Like when a girl starts, I don't know. Let's say uh, she's a little late, right? Instead of that guy on Twitter on that video everyone saw yelling at a girl for like, I know it was his girlfriend, but yelling at a girl because she was 4 minutes late. How about tease her like later on is like, oh, is that why you were 4 minutes late? It's because you were a Taurus. That's the Taurus thing. And the crazy thing, it doesn't matter what you attach to mannerism or thing to any sign will do. If she's a Libra, just be like, I've dealt with Libras before, and you guys are late, so I forgive you. It's just it's so silly. I know it's hard to understand sometimes, but you just have to trust it, right? Game and dating is not about intellectualism. It's not about, leave that stuff for outside of the date. When you're in front of the girl, enjoy it and just go along with what works. And this works. It works like crazy. I can't explain it, but it works. And as you go on, you're going to realize too that there's different ways to go about it. And that's why I want to talk today about the most powerful tool, chick crack tool ever, that I've ever come across, or probably that ever exists. And it's this book. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays, right? The Secret Language of Birthdays is an insanely powerful book. And why do I say it? It's because here in the Secret Language of Birthdays, it is like astrology but on steroids, right? Um and it has like the first section of the book, it's just the signs but broken up in like three sections. So there's like Pisces 1, 2, and 3, Taurus 1, 2, and 3. It's pretty insane, right? So there's plenty of material for like your ladies to draw from the women you date to draw from, right? So on top of that, it has, and then here's the meat and potatoes of the book, is that it has each day, astrology by day, the exact day, right? So not only will a girl feel more special when you're explaining this book to her, she has her exact day, and that drives her innate solipsism and her chick crack, that all that stuff, all those emotions to 100, right? So, um, so sorry, all these emotions down to 100, because not only is she a Pisces, but February 23rd, here's your reading, or here's everything about you, right? And it has it here all in one book, right? So if you guys, let's say, um you were born, oops, sorry, if you were born May 15th, you guys see that, May 15th, it literally has what your day is based on. So the day of Dreamweavers, and then on the right, it has all the people that were born on the day you were born, all the famous notable people, right? So for, let's say, May 15th, you have Frank Baum. I don't know who he is. Oh, the writer of Wizard of Oz. Um, let's see, all these famous people. The Rothschilds. One of the Rothschilds was born on this day, right? And it gives you like four or five paragraphs of like how they are, their tendencies and all that stuff. And women were like, will eat that stuff up. And then it has their numbers, planets, their tarot, their health, and then some advice and a meditation, their strengths and weaknesses, right? So it's an amazing book, right? I even tweeted it. There was a girl, when I first started like doing this YouTube stuff and first came out as a dating guy. There was a girl that said, "Here's a famous female account posted this," and I quote tweeted her like, "Oh, this is my favorite chick crack to use," right? And I'm like, "Yeah, 4D chess, like." Um, you have, guys, dating is a battlefield. It's war. It's the art of war, right? And this will be like one of the best tools in your toolbox. And honestly, it's, man, how do I explain it? It's like there really isn't, I've never seen a girl read this and not be completely like drawn to the book like magic. This is a magic power. You guys have to use this responsibly. This is basically a superpower right here. Um and I'll put the book uh, in the chat, guys. It's called The Secret Language of Birthdays. Yeah, I don't even know the name. It just sits on my coffee table. Secret Language of Birthdays. So yeah, Secret Language of Birthdays. And it's basically, yeah, like Never Relax says, it's a bro has a tome of hypnosis astrology. Yeah, it's basically hypnosis. It's really powerful book, man. Like I posted it the other day again, and Eric Everhard, the famous porn star, he retweeted, or he commented under my profile and said, "Oh, I love that book. It's a great book." So people know about this. People know about, it's a very magical book. Um, so I don't know how much the cost is on Amazon. Let me look that up for you guys. Amazon.com. It's a very heavy book. It says it's huge. It's a huge book, very heavy. It's like almost like a reference book because that's what it's meant to be. It's meant to be like one of a textbook, like a reference book. Um, let me see. Bringing it up now. I'm sure you guys can look it up too. It guys, this is like the ultimate chick crack book. It's only $23. Um, well, no, the hardcover. Get the hardcover. Yeah, definitely get the hardcover. It's only $30, and it's money well spent, guys. Look at this. Look at this stuff, man. It's look how thick that is, you know, and it's super heavy, and it looks. I mean, it has a nice little cover, right? I know if you're religious, you probably don't want this in your house. I understand. So maybe it's not for you, but it's a good for your. Put it on the bottom rung of your put it somewhere where if a girl walks into your house, she could see it. So I put it on the bottom rung of my coffee table, and then I always pull it out and be like, "Hey, I'm curious." So the next thing, oh, we got people buying it. That's awesome. See, this will help you a lot. And please, guys, if you buy this book, please, um, please report back to me. You know, whether it be on a stream, whether it be, I'm really not taking Twitter DMs, but if you guys get some good get some good stories out of this book, like a girl really it starts working for you, right? Please let me know through Twitter, through here on the live stream. You can email me at nuclearcaudillo@gmail.com, all that stuff, right? So yeah, Secret Language of Birthday is pretty awesome. Definitely go get it. It's about $30 hardcover. Get the hardcover. Don't get the soft cover. Don't get the paperback, right? Get the hardcover because you're gonna have this book for a long time. So yeah, I'm glad. See, you guys are awesome. You guys are buying the book. You guys give a shit. You guys want to move forward. I know the thing is I don't get a 1 cent out of telling you guys to buy this book. I am not advocate. I like that. There is no affiliate link. There is no no incentive for me to share this besides I want to see everyone win. So I get nothing out of this, guys. $0, 0 cents. So I really believe in this book. I know I don't believe in astrology, but I believe in the power of this book, right? So I know it's a little Machiavellian, but we have to really accept, hey, women, this is how women think. They like this stuff. So if you want to win, you have to use the tools to help you win, right? We can either go on Twitter and complain about how women suck and the government sucks and taxes and the war in Ukraine and Joe Biden and Trump, whatever. Great. Or we can just figure it out. This is us figuring it out, right? This is us trading notes. This is what the red pill and the manosphere used to be. We talk about things that help us get laid and nothing else. We don't care about anything else, right? So, um, yeah, it's a very powerful book, guys. A lot of cool stuff, and you probably will want to know your day, right? Even though you don't believe in astrology, the curiosity will get to you, and you'll be interested to see how the psychology of people who believe in this stuff, how they grasp people, how they just say they kind of bring out like very average, normal human tendencies and throw them in this book on a certain day, and that's how people feel. They make them believe that they're different and special just because of the day they were born on, right? So let's break this down. Let's see how you would use this, right? Um, so Zachary says, I suppose it could be a good bait to get a girl to your place. Come over, we can read about what your birthday means. Yes, but I'm going to explain in a second how we channel this power, right? I can't just give you guys the power and you guys use it irresponsibly, right? I just taught you guys the Kamehameha wave. Let's learn how to use it, how to direct it correctly. That way we can all win, right? We got Kate in the chat. Hey, Kate, are you here? What day were you born, Kate? Just curious. Sounds like a viable strategy, yes, but we will refine it. Walter Phillips, hey, wait, I am different and special. Yes, you are, but you have to prove it to the world. Okay, so you swipe right, you meet a girl at a place, you set up a date, right? You're texting. Here are some strategies you can use for this book, right? So strategy one is this is tough. This helps me, right? And I'm gonna get into the weeds, and I'm gonna get a little bit over. Maybe I'll complicate this enough, right? If you guys think I'm overcomplicating this, please let me know. So, we all know it's hard to keep a girl's attention, right? Let's say there's no way you can plan a date in 48 hours, 24 hours, right? So what you do is if you have you have a day that's planned 4 days out, most likely she will cancel, right? Because you got about 48 hours until a girl's like, "Yeah, found something else," or I forgot. So what you can do after you set up the date and you're like, it's 3 days out, there's 3 or 4 days out, she's gonna forget about me. This sucks. Um, 24 hours after your last text, ask her, "Hey, what day were you born?" And send her just the top portion of this and maybe a little bit of a paragraph, right? Don't send her everything. Just say, "Hey, just curious. I just opened my book and I found a lot of information on you." Right? Leave it at that. She's going to ask you, "Hey, what else does it say? Or what's the name of that book?" Do not tell her at all. Do not tell her. She won't find it, dude. I've been doing this for like 3 years now. Still, no girl has found the book, and I will post a picture of this, of the little symbol and the date and the day of whatever, and a piece of the first paragraph. None of them have been able to figure out where this book is. So don't be afraid to do that, right? Now, what you're doing is you're reigniting. I know you're not supposed to build attraction through text, right? But this book is so powerful that if you do something like this, you're building mystery. You're building like, oh my God, I want to know, and then what usually happens 90% of the time is that you go on the date, um, and she will always midday ask you, "Hey, so about that book, I want to see it." And you're just like, "Oh," and then you start teasing her like, "Why do you want to see it so bad? There's nothing that bad about you." And to see you, it's like, just so powerful. It's just, now you have her here because now you have something she doesn't know that she wants. So you can play it like catnip, right? And that's what she wants. She wants to play. So now you're dangling the cat toy, and she's like, "But what else to say?" Well, then you tell her, "Hey, it has your numbers and planets. It has famous, notable people that were born on the same day you were. As your tarot reading, your health advice, normal advice, meditation, strengths and weaknesses." You just let her know, like, right? And she's like, "Really?" And then you can say, like, "Yeah, it was so much. I was like overwhelmed. I don't know what to think now. Like, do you believe in this stuff? Like, it's so mad." Just kind of like elevate the conversation from normal, boring, "Hey, what do you do? Where do you live? Do you have sisters? Do you have brothers?" to something that she will remember, right? And this creates attraction because not only are you standing out from the other men, you're becoming interesting and exciting. So this stuff it's insane how great this book works. And I don't know why more players, womanizers, Don Juans, whatever you want to call them, don't use this stuff, right? But this book is the most powerful thing in my arsenal, right? Besides this guy back here, but this thing right here, and my puppy. This is the most powerful thing in my arsenal. This is literally um, something that has made dating easier. So that's one way to use. That's one way to use the book. It's very interesting. You just create mystery around it, like you know, strengths and weaknesses. You bring them, "Hey, I like your strengths, but your weaknesses kind of made me wonder." And now she's qualifying to you. She's like, "No, what are you talking about?" It's just like, "I don't know. It's just something about you Geminis that you guys do, but this is so specific to you. It might be just you, and you create that attraction and that mystery, right? And that's beforehand. Now, now that you've done that, let's say you get her back to your place. She's gonna want to see the book, right? So you let her sit down, read the book. She'll be like, "Really?" Then you kind of like tease her about her strengths and weaknesses, right? Like, for example, if you're born June 2nd, your weaknesses are that you're picky and you're problem creating, right? So let's say you're on a date with a girl, and or she's back at your place and says, "Hey, you're picky. Is that why you chose me?" And just, that's a good way to introduce banter into, she's already kind of nervous. She's in your apartment, so now it helps with the banter and the conversation. Like, here's another one, July 2nd, right? Or let's do July 6th, right? Um, Weaknesses: obsessive, stuck, and addictive. You can be like, oh, one of your weaknesses is that you're stuck. Does that mean you're going to be stuck on me? Should I be worried? You know? Yeah, just literally that simple, guys. Don't overthink it. Um, this book works wonders in creating conversation, creating all this stuff, right? And as time goes on, you'll be able to understand and um, work it better to your advantage. Um, Sometimes I'll hook up with a girl or date a girl, she'll forget about it, right? It was just you created such a cloud of mystery around you and around this book that was just enough. She didn't need to know her tarot reading, or she didn't need to know who was born on the same day she was. She enjoyed the mystery and all that stuff. And there have been times where I've mentioned this book and girls became obsessed through text, through message, right? Like I used it and then like canceled the date or something happened, had to leave the area, and even for a full week, a girl was asking me about this book. Hooked, right? And that's what we want. We want the hook, and this is a very powerful hook. Now, in person, when you're meeting a girl, like initially approaching, I wouldn't mention this book. Um, when you're asking a girl on a date, don't really mention this stuff. Keep it, But I think through text is a great way to introduce it, um, and realize that this is something that doesn't really. It's very low hanging fruit in terms of something you can develop for dating, because all it is like you don't. It has nothing to do with your congruency. You can be whatever you are in life and still have this book, and it won't really change anything, right? Um, you go from um, the more things you have in your arsenal when you date, the easier it becomes, right? I'm getting really tired. I'm not. I mean, who cares about me, right? But um, you know, this was introduced to me by a guy in the Navy when I was working with, and he told me, yeah, girls love this stuff, and I have it over, and I read it to them and all that stuff. So it's like it's being passed down from one guy to another on how to get chicks, right? And it's just sad that like now even men are against passing down this knowledge. They call this stuff manipulative. They call this stuff like lame and stupid, and astrology is not real. And I'm like, yeah, dude, there's a lot of things that aren't real, but it's still important to have these kind of things as a part of life. We don't believe in Santa Claus, but we love decorating our houses with Santa Claus stuff um, during Christmas. We don't believe in superpowers, but we believe in we like superheroes. So don't give women such a hard time when they believe in this stuff, right? Because um, it's just that's just what they're inclined to believe based on their biology. Um, and you'll realize too that you'll get when girls read this stuff, you'll get a lot of their own personality and their own feedback, and you'll get to know them better, right? Not because of your magical ability to understand their astrological sign, which isn't real, right? But let's say a girl's reading her weaknesses, right? Um, like here it says, let me show you guys. This is July 10th. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, it says weaknesses: procrastinating, uncommunicative, and what was the last one? Isolated. Right. The way she reacts to those weaknesses tells you a lot about the girl. Some girls will be like, that's not me, I'm better than that. Then she's kind of narcissistic, like I'm perfect. Or if she says, yeah, I could do better, I do procrastinate it out, then even though that's like everyone's weakness is procrastination, at least she's like accepting her own flaws. And that tells you a lot about the girl, right? There's a lot of things that go on. And also, because a girl likes astrology and believes in astrology a little bit, doesn't mean she's a bad person, right? I dated girls that believed in this stuff, and they were good people. They were good girlfriends, right? Don't just write a girl off because she believes in astrology, right? Um, Remember, girls' beliefs are like with the wind. They believe something one day, and then they'll stop believing it the next day. And if she's with you and doing the right things as a girl, there's no reason to like um, have these astronomical standards as a guy. So yeah, I got some chats here. I'm wondering if I could pull this off. Within 20 minutes of a day, she would know I didn't believe in astrology. Within 20 minutes, she knows how how I may vote, even without me mentioning either in detail. Okay. So wait, what do you wear on a date? Do you live in a super liberal city, and do you look like um in Texas? No one knows. Like no one knows anyone's politics because it's like the country's red and the cities are blue, and some cities are kind of blue. They're not even full blue. They're just kind of blue, right? So maybe it's the city you're in. Maybe it's because you just can't fathom that girls like to talk about astrology and stuff. So maybe you should look into um, the way you speak and you're very intellectual instead of just enjoying the moment and being playful. Those are all things that could tip off the girl to be like, oh, this guy's a stick in the mud, or this guy doesn't believe in astrology, and this guy is liberal or Republican or whatever, right? So, um, yeah. Here, I put the link in the chat for if you guys want to grab this book. Yeah, it is kind of obvious, but don't go around telling the ladies, okay, guys? Just keep this to yourself and the ladies you date. Um, Never relax. I consider lying about my birthday for a little bit since I was a relatively mellow guy, but astrology tells me I'm intensely passionate, possibly jealous. Yeah, whatever your birthday it is, just go with it. Girls don't really care about like if your sign is a red flag, right? Just have fun. Just have fun with it. If it says that you're intensely passionate and possibly jealous, just spin it into her favor or against your so instead of saying, oh, possibly jealous, like, yeah, that I like to take care of what's mine. You spin it that way and girls will like it. um Walter Phillips, that's funny because the title of the book is super obvious. Yeah, it's super obvious, but they'll never figure it out. Hey, I've been doing this for 3 years, guys, and not one girl was able to find it anywhere, right? Zachary Moore says, do you find it works on certain types of women more than others, Latina for example, or is pretty close to equal? All women, my friend. All Western women, whether it be straight off the boat Asian or Latina or whatever, white, black, all of it, believe it. Um, I don't even remember the last time I met a girl that doesn't know about astrology and doesn't enjoy talking about it. I don't remember. Teaching my son this stuff soon. Yeah, how old is your son? We got Danny Arnold in the chats. What's up, Danny? What's going on, man? Um, Let me see. Seattle's blue AF, yet the majority of Washington State here is red as red can be. Yeah, that's what I've heard. It's very weird. My guy Nuclear, que lo que. What's up, King Macho? Glad to see you guys here. I'll start with that. Thanks for the good news, LOL. 14. Yeah. Yeah, teach your son some game. Give him the rational male, let him watch a little bit of the don't let him watch the crazy stuff, the woman hating stuff. You don't want your son to enter the dating market already bitter. Let him figure it out for himself, but at the same time, let him know, in a very calm and patient way that women's true nature so he doesn't get destroyed. No father, no parents want to see their son or daughter heartbroken or destroyed, right? So you want to protect them against that. But yeah, gonna be 15 this year. Yeah. Great, man. I wish my father would have taught. He did teach me this stuff indirectly, kind of like he never sat down with me and had these talks, but he did kind of like through his example, he taught me. So, so yeah, I'm trying to see if there's anything else. The book doesn't follow a chronological order. It starts it's chronological, but it doesn't start in January. It starts like in April or something or March, and then it ends on like February. Um, and each day has a little drawing, and then the day of whatever. Too, which is pretty interesting. And then the first, like I was mentioned before, the first part of the book has like you know Pisces 1, 2, 3, Aquarius 1, 2, 3, all that stuff, and it helps with kind of like things to pull, let her read a little bit and stuff like that. And then if you send her day or a little teaser or what her day says, you can withhold that from her. If she says, "Oh, can I see the rest of the page, please?" Be like, "Oh, you're not even gonna say please." And she's like, "Oh, please, please." I'm like, "You know what? I don't feel like it because you weren't polite or you didn't say please. So maybe later I'll think about it." You can just play that tug of war cat and mouse game with him. So yeah, guys, I don't think I have much else on this particular book. And make sure too to have it somewhere accessible, so where you walk in your apartment with her or something, it's like pretty obvious. Maybe just leave it on the couch before you go on a date or something like that. And then she will try to shit test. She was like, "Oh, did you read this to all the girls?" And what's my favorite way to pass a shit test like that? You say, "Only the pretty girls like you." Works every single time. That is the most powerful shit test pass or response I've ever used um in my life. Rich Cooper recommends Rational Male, Mystery Method, Art of Seduction in succession. Yeah. Rational Male is the base, guys. You read that, you understand the nuts and bolts, and then everything else you can build from that. Um, it starts in March because Aries is first in the astrological calendar. Look at that. We got an astro guy here. And Pisces is last. Yep. King Trust Issue says, "That's true. I almost fell into that rabbit hole. Thank God I found Rule Zero, guys." Yeah. And realize, guys, the red pill isn't forever. You can't watch red pill every day. You can't watch Rolo every day for 5 hours. Eventually, you're going to have to live your life. Most people that watch this stuff already know everything they need to know. We kind of watch it to keep ourselves updated or for entertainment, which I get it because most entertainment is bad. It's feminized. So why not watch red pill guys talk about evolutionary psychology for an hour or two, right? So, um, guys, don't get too consumed in the red pill stuff. Find solutions to your problems and realize that we're not victims of women and we're not victims of men. We're victims of technology, right? No one grows up wanting to hurt the other gender or wanting to hurt another group of people for no reason, right? We do it. We learn this stuff, right, because we're tired of getting hurt and we want to stop the pain, right? So eventually, once you're able to stop the pain of dealing with the opposite gender and you finally create the life you wanted, there's no reason to keep obsessively watching red pill content, right? It would behoove you to learn more to learn about stuff that you're actually interested in, like either motorcycles, physics, carpentry, whatever. Don't get caught watching this stuff every day and make it a large chunk of your life, because then it will leave you empty, right? You already know what you need. You just got to act on it, right? That's why I don't like to talk about red pill all the time. That's I like to talk about stuff like this because this is like another tool, and we could help guys get laid and find girls and all that stuff, and make dates more fun for girls, because eventually, this is all downstream, right? We learn how to talk to them and be exciting, and they have more fun, right? Don't believe the lie that we're licking the ice cream and ruining women for other men. No, you know, women have agency, and I know agency, like Ryan said today, agency is like Schrodinger's cat for men. Women's agency is like Schrodinger's cat for men. Um, do they have agency? Do they not? Did OnlyFans ruin women, or did women ruin women? Do they have a choice? Are we going to treat them like children, or are we going to treat them like adults? Right? Um, every man has to decide that for themselves. I think they have agency, right? So I think they're able to make decisions on themselves, right? So if a girl wants to hook up with me, that's on her, right? If a girl wants to flake on me, that's on her. If a girl wants to cheat on me, that's on her. If a girl wants to stay after I've cheated, that's on her, right? Life is much more simple. You cannot go around life um, pretending that a whole group, 50% of the earth, is not responsible for their actions. You will go crazy, right? Obviously, they have limitations, right? There's accountability and all that stuff, but even then, it's also not your job to hold them accountable. That's what society and real life and reality and Mother Nature will do for you. And a lot of guys do have a fantasy, a revenge fantasy that girls will become old and die alone. But I'm telling you right now, as a guy I'm like 34, who's slowly seeing the girls I went to college with and past girls that I dated kind of enter my age bracket, mid 30s. You don't, the wall, a lot of girls, there's a lot of argument about the wall, right? And the reason there's a lot of argument about the wall right now is because millennials are entering their 40s. They just started entering their 40s. Most of us are in our 30s now. And that's why there's a lot of women, outspoken women, calling us insecure because we talk about the wall. The wall doesn't, as we know, the wall doesn't really have to do much with looks, but it does a little bit. But it's more that the woman can't compete with her younger self anymore. We know that red pill 101, right? But now that I'm experiencing women kind of learning about this reality in my personal life, women I dated, women that rejected me, women that I dated, it didn't work out. And I go through life and I start realizing like, um, we are getting our revenge fantasy, but it's not gonna be fulfilling. It's not gonna be happy. You're not gonna enjoy it. You're not gonna be like, gotcha, bitch. It's something that made me feel sad. And what does the wall look like nowadays? The wall is like getting a call. I got a call from a girl saying, "Hey, can I have your sperm so I can, can you donate your sperm so I can be a father? So I can be a mom. I choose you to be I want your genetics." And while it's very flattering, it's very sad, right? Um for a woman to call you and say that. So like, what do you say? I said, "Hey, don't you think, why don't you find someone to fall in love with, build a relationship with, so that kid could have a shot of having a kid, or sorry, a father, you know?" Um, and I was explaining this to her, and you know, she was like nagging, like, "Come on, it doesn't matter. You'll sign the rights away. You will never be able to see him. You won't have to see him ever." And I'm like, "You want me to have genetic material? You want me to have a kid with you and walk in this earth without a father? That, like, I want to at least give him a chance." Um, so it's like that's what the wall's starting to look like for a lot of women. You'll have women that hit the wall, but they were in a relationship for like years and the guy never proposed, and then they broke up, and she's walking the earth 31, 32, no prospect of um no prospect of a relationship in the near future, right? The wall isn't something you're going to be happy about, because once you kind of get your rocks off, you understand you have abundance with women, you kind of start seeing how their lives play out. And I've dated women as young as 19 all the way up to 32, and I see the life cycle, and it's all so predictable, and that's not something I wish on anyone, right? I urge all women to seriously think about getting married as soon as they can, because I know what the wall looks like, and the wall isn't something physical. It's not pretty. It's just not pretty. I don't want it. I don't wish it on anyone. Um, I wish more people would shield the sidebar. Yeah. Guys, look at the sidebar and look at the stories, man. Great stuff. Maybe I'll contribute to it one day, but it's just so many lessons learned. You don't need to watch a year of Red Pill. You can just go to the sidebar, read a couple books, and you'll be good to go. So do I. All the tools are, yeah, all the tools are already there. This is just you know what this is? This isn't even a tool. This is like calibrating your multimeter or something. This is like an upgrade to your OS, a little upgrade, a little 5-minute upgrade to your OS. This is not going to save your relationship, or, you still have to put in the work, but this is that one trap card in your deck that will, like, get you from point A to point B pretty fast, and I want to share it with you guys. So yeah, king trust issues. It's all about choices and trade offs. Yeah, I had to, and it's for men too. Like, I know I grinded in my 20s like a madman. I almost went insane, and now I live a very comfortable life. Very chill, like extremely chill life. And I know guys that bullshitted their 20s. You know, and now they're stuck. I mean, they're earning money, but no experience with women, no experiences with like with workplace politics, no experience with life in general. And they're just constantly learning lessons the hard way that they should have learned in their at least in their late 20s. But yeah, Zachary says too many men use the wall as comfort food. Get yours and you forget about all about that girl who rejected you. Yeah, that's what I say. Once you get abundance, like you won't, the wall becomes something that used to be something you used to tell women, so you can get kind of like a comfort out of knowing that they'll be unhappy in the future. To you looking at a girl and be like, please settle down, please find the guy because I don't want this for anyone. The mo Even the porn star who's shoving cucumbers up her butt and making lots of money, more money than I'll ever make in a year, and she's making it in a month, right? I still want her to stick the landing, right? Most likely she will in some form, but I want everyone to be happy and stick the landing because I have been lonely, I have been, not have some support sometimes in my life. But I always knew in my mind, like, this is temporary because, man's suffering is temporary. We can always come back. We're like a phoenix, lose my job, lost my girl, my kids. Great. 6 months later, I'm back on my feet. I'm struggling. I'm back on my feet doing it. Right. When a girl loses her primary agency, which is her looks, another aspect of the wall that I'll tell you guys, right, is I met a hot MILF, she set her Tinder to San Antonio. I was there recent, like just for a couple days for work, and we matched. But she was like way in the Texas border, and very voluptuous, hot Mexican MILF lady, very respectful, but very very sexual, and very into me in the beginning. Like the first thing she sent me, this is funny. The first thing she sent me is one of those like pictures of an app where it tells you what our children would look like. And she sent me, and I'm like, well, who's that? She's like, this is what our kids would look like. This woman was 42, right? And the saddest part about her, and I still keep contact with her. She's a nice lady. Um, the saddest part about her is that she keeps getting surgeries to get her to she her BBLs. She got a BBL, stomach pumped, like she has huge boobs, like she's doing all the surgeries, right? And she looks good, but it's just like a 42-year-old lady, here she is talking to a 34-year-old dude, almost like captured by me, like sending me these weird, like, look at what our children would look like pictures. Um, and that's the wall, guys. Like, that's what's on the other side to this. Do you want that for any woman? I know women can be nasty on Twitter. I know they can say some dumb stuff on Twitter. I know they can be disrespectful. I know a rejection hurts, a ghosting hurts. I know when you guys see these panel shows and the women are either very stupid or very or delusional or rude or disrespectful, or make an exorbitant amount of money, shoving cucumbers up their butt on OnlyFans or whatever they do, right? Um, it kind of gets to you as a man, right? And that's the point. That's what the marketing is there for. That's what these podcasts do. That's how they hook you, right? Um, so when that happens, don't despair. Realize that it's all a ruse to get you riled up. You know, um, I've been on a panel show with women before, and they're scared. They're terrified. When I was speaking to them and looking at them in the eyes, they were just like just deer in the headlights. Like, they're scared. They're just as scared of us as we are of them, right? And I'll tell you, I even you guys know the story. I met a porn star at a gym. I didn't know she was a porn star until like I went into her Instagram, but I talked to her normal conversation. She put up a little resistance in the beginning. She chuckled. She waited to see if I was gonna ask for her number, like a normal human being, right? Obviously, you have to be attractive before you do these things. Work on yourself, work on your physique, work on your hygiene, look good, right? But like, you're going to realize as you date more and learn more about women, it humanizes you and them much, much more. You'll see the desperation in their eyes. There's been several moments in my life where, um, I've been like, astrology is stupid. I'm going to use it anyway. And you use it and you see how easy they fall. Like, these are women that are work for the federal government. These are women that are lawyers. These are women that are studying to be doctors, all that stuff, right? Um, but at the end of the day, you can't really blame them too much. They're just doing what they do, right? It's like us watching a World War II movie, right? Put a World War II movie in front of any guy with above 400 testosterone, and we're glued to the screen for the next 2 hours. And we're probably shedding manly tears at the end of the World War II movie. It's just the way we're built, right? We didn't fight in that war, but we still feel that kind of like connection. Um, you don't want the wall to be some kind of like ace in the hole when you're arguing with women. I don't want any woman to have that excess, like that loneliness forever. I want all of them to stick the landing. I want all of them to find a guy they like. It won't happen. Statistically speaking, it won't happen. But it's better that that you don't have that resentment within you. Walter Phillips said, "That's super sad. Holy shit." Yeah, I have several stories of the wall, and they keep going. They keep going. There's women that a girl texted me today about fitness advice. I've never met this girl. She follows me on Twitter. She's from back home in Puerto Rico, and she was talking about she's 28, 29, and she wants to join the military, and she's trying to get in shape. A 28-year-old girl about to join the military. Like, what did you do for 10 years, 11 years? Was no man good enough? And here you are about to join the military, about to go shipped off somewhere where you barely speak the language. You're going to get yelled at for 2 months at your age with women 10 years younger than you. And you're going to get back and you're going to be more masculine and even more unable to connect with a man. And you're probably going to get tossed around the unit like women do in the military. You're probably going to only be attracted to higher ranking men. You're probably going to want to ruin their lives because they're married. Like, I know the whole thing, right? And the wall, that's the wall. That is the wall. The wall is, when you were 18, were you thinking of building a career and settling down with a man and all that? No, you were thinking of having fun. And now life's catching up to you and you have to do these things. I have more stories of the wall and all that stuff. And I have stories of women that are setting themselves up to be hit by the wall even harder, right? And I'm casually seeing a girl like that right now, and there's nothing I can do, right? She likes me a lot. She doesn't want to commit, but she likes me a lot. But there's nothing I can do, and that's the saddest part of the wall. It's like we have no power to convince women to find love instead of, everything else. So Danny Arnold says, "Gotcha, bitch." Dave Chappelle. Yep. I should put that as one of my sounds. What you guys think? I do have sounds. I just don't know when to use them. Let me see. There you go. There's one sound. There's another sound.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah.
How many times do we have
played
to
again.
teach you this lesson, old man?
Anyway, yeah, I got some sounds. Yeah, let's see what more chats. Kate says, there are no attractive 32-year-old women with no relationship prospects. Oh no, of course they can get a relationship, but the thing is, when you're 32, you still haven't gotten a relationship. You don't like go through. You don't approach the relationship like you did when you were 24 or 25. There's going to be a lot more things psychologically you have to deal with as you get older and have to settle as a woman, right? And it's funny because a lot of the stuff, like, I went on a date in Arkansas recently. I had to work up there and I went on a date with a girl, and she talked to me a lot about plastic surgery, and she had gotten stuff done. She was Latina, so it's hard to tell because Latinas, the big lips on Latinas, and the cheekbones are kind of more prevalent in Mexican women. But she told me, yeah, I got my lips done and I got, I don't know, Botox, some kind of cheek stuff done. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I didn't notice, And, you know, it's, there's a certain anxiety that older women have in their early 30s, especially, that everything that you do as a man could lead to her heartbreak or like just a bad situation, right? When I date younger women and I'm a couple minutes late for the date, they're like, whatever, I'm waiting here, it's okay. But when I was approaching this girl, like approaching the parking lot, and I was like 5, 10 minutes late, she was very like, where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I've been waiting here, and I was like, I'm pulling up to the parking lot. It's okay, my bad. I'm not from here, and the date was awesome. It was an awesome date, and had a great ending too. But it's just that and I don't think that's her fault. I think she just dealt with so many dates and so many men letting her down and disappointing her over the years that she has this kind of neuroticism and anxiety when she sees the signs of another man that could possibly let her down in any capacity, right? So that's what I mean. It's psychologically more difficult to because you're just more hurt and you have more baggage, so you kind of see the patterns even if there's not a pattern, you know. Zachary Moore, exactly right. Never relax. Go live life. Advice I need to follow. Yeah, go live your life, my friend. Danny says, never relax me as well. I need to go do that too. I read The Manipulated Man a week ago, and this is like a completely different perspective. Yeah. I mentioned that on the DragonShip. One of the things that I read this, and I read it and it like ignited my anger phase like that, set it afire. Because it's basically telling you, hey man, girls are not that special. Men are the special ones. Women aren't even pretty. Men are the pretty ones. Like it's a woman writing demystifying women and telling you, "Hey, stupid, we're not that special. Stop it." So it's like, wow, you know, um, it's pretty crazy. Let me mess around with stream elements, guys. If you guys have um, any tips for me for stream elements, please let me know because I don't really know how to use it that well. Yeah, I just started today. Let me see. Anyways, let's see. You need the soundbite of big guns going off like they have at naval battleships. The big batteries, boom, boom, boom. All right, yeah. Um, I have so many ideas for sounds, guys. You have no idea. Um, Kyle says the level of empathy that Nuke has for washed-up females is truly admirable. Must be a Pisces. Yep, that is. All right, sir, you get that star. That was good. It's not that I have empathy because there's nothing I can do with them for them. Empathy is like, hey, I know what you're going through. Sympathy is just like, I feel sorry for you. I think for me, it's just like, yeah, maybe sympathy, yeah. But it stops where I have to do anything, right? Because I can't do anything, even if I wanted to. Like, I can't marry you if you're 32. I can't. Like, I want kids. I gotta marry you when you're 25. And also, how am I gonna sleep every night knowing that I was your last choice, that you had to get with me because out of obligation? Like I can't live with myself knowing what I know. So it's like I have no, I have no choice. No disrespect to older women. It's just, and the problem is too, um, when women either get older or have a kid or have an incurable sexual disease or anything that really lowers their kind of SMV in the sexual marketplace, that's when they get really receptive. And as a man, as you get older and more attractive, you kind of get like, hey, like, why do like at first you're like, yeah, female attention, but then you realize they're giving you attention um because they're lower in the SMV. You're the best they can do for the time being. Right. And can you live with that? Are you okay with that? Some guys can, but I can't, and that's just me. Yeah. Here's a virtual super chat for you, brother. Hey, you can tip me through Streamlabs. let me put the hold on. Let me put the tipping link. Hold on, I'll get it up here. I'll put it in the chat. There you go. You guys can tip me there for the time being. I'm about 200 watch hours from being monetized on YouTube, but you guys can tip me there on Streamlabs if you guys would like. And yeah, we'll move on from there. So I appreciate your virtual super chat, Danny. I do what I can. But yeah. Also, guys, I got like 20 more minutes. If you guys want to talk about anything or have any questions, let me know. I'm all open to doing Q&A. But yeah. So again, in conclusion, Chick Crack, very powerful. This is the most powerful version of it. I haven't found anything more powerful. Yes, there are apps. Yes, there are web pages and all that stuff, but this is a book, and the books are more interesting than a silly little app. So use it right. Tease her with this. Use it to generate conversation. Use it to generate mystery. I already explained how. You guys may come up with your own way of doing it. Put it in a place that's accessible, so when she comes to your apartment, she can either spot it or you can pull it out, and you know, enjoy the power of the secret language of birthdays. The most powerful chick crack ever created by man, right? And then you guys can use it. And remember, I don't get anything, not even zero out of promoting this book. So this is just something that's helped me, and hopefully will help you, right? And ultimately, we we're here to trade notes. Who cares about who's debating who? Who cares about what some 22-year-old girl whose standards are like six figures and 6 feet tall? She's gonna go bang her 5'8" broke boyfriend or broke ex that night. Just letting you know, guys. These girls on these street interviews, when they say all these things, they're gonna go afterwards. They're gonna hook up with a broke 5'8", 5'9" guy, 5'4", 5'5" guy. They're just saying that because they think that when they announce their standards, it attracts men like that. That's how women work. It's the psychology. So when they announce, yeah, I want a guy like this, like that, and what happens is all the dorks that do have those things come up and say, hey, what's up? It's always the guy who's like the one with the most game that gets delayed, right? So yeah. Oh, we got a question here. What about women who don't realize they've hit the wall? If that makes sense. All women realize they hit the wall. I think very few women are delusional. All women know they hit the wall. And my reasoning is, it's just the way their behavior. It may not be like they consciously said, I'm hitting the wall, but it's just things change for them, right? The type of men they go for, they start caring more about long-term provisioning qualities in men. They care more about attraction qualities and not arousal qualities. They tend to have a public disdain for the same men that they were attracted to and may still be attracted to later in life, right? And this happens with several women in my life. Like, sometimes I am the bad boy, and then they denounce me like that after they find a faithful beta provider. So essentially, as time goes on, you're gonna have to when women constantly say there isn't a wall, that's the wall. One of the biggest indicator of the wall is women complaining about men knowing about the wall. That is one of the biggest, because when you're 28, or sorry, when you're 25, 24, 23, 18, 19, 20, none of this crosses their mind. It's only when they're 29, 30 that they start saying like, oh, men are insecure because they want to date younger girls, right? But those younger girls were on a yacht or in a car on a date with Nuke in a nice part of the city, enjoying $20 drinks, right? And having a fun, exciting dates. But now that they're older and Nuke doesn't want them anymore, then it's like, oh, Nuke is insecure. because he doesn't want me anymore. I was like, sure, whatever you want to call it. I've been called worse things by women, so insecure is actually pretty nice. They all know. They all know that they just know more. Some more subconscious than others. They all know they're hit the wall. It's just it. You gotta understand that women's primary industry is their looks. And I know to us when we'll see a picture of a girl that's like, I haven't aged in 10 years. I haven't hit the wall, and it's like 25 to 32, and she still looks great. She still looks great, right? Looks amazing, right? But the problem is, it's the behavior. It's the way she manifests this the the fact that she's no longer can compete with her younger self, right? They shame the men shaming. Do 23-year-olds shame older men for hitting on them? No. Like I said before, the girl I'm seeing, she when she was 12, she lied about her age to flirt with men on Omegle or Meagle, however you say it, right? Um, the last girl, one of the last girls on Hinge that I went on a date with, she said, "Hey, by the way, the picture of me in a bikini by the pool, I was 17." So they weaponize their youth against older men and they enjoy it, right? But now that now that they're older and they no longer get the same attention from men, it's like it's still my fault. And I'm like, no, it's just biology. I can't help you. I can't help you. But the wall is real and they know. They always know. The thing is that it's subconscious. And they know deep down that they can no longer compete with their younger self. So they just act weird. Paulina Poroskova, ageism. I get it. Thank you. Yeah, and then when it comes down to it, since women like to weaponize our sense of guilt and our sense of like responsibility against us, they'll say that it's our fault that we don't find them attractive. I'm like, I can't. Sorry, I can't help it. It's just in my biology. I've accepted my biology for what it is. So yeah. Um, Never relax. Bulking tips and tricks for a hard gainer. I've had to roughly 3,500 calories a day to gain a little under a pound a week. Shot of olive oil in your shakes. That helps. It's a nice shot with 300 calories. Pretty good. You won't even taste it. So my shake in the morning is one medium-sized banana, one scoop of whey protein, two raw eggs, cocoa powder, 2 cups coffee, uh, honey, and peanut butter. And that's my shake. And then if I'm gaining, then I'll add a shot of olive oil to that. So thank you for the question, sir. Yes. Anyways, guys, let me see. I'm trying to see why isn't this okay. Just trying to understand this streaming stuff, these stream elements. Uh, let's see. Okay. All right. Apparently, I'm in. Okay, Stream Elements bots is running. All right. I don't know what I'm doing with the Stream Element stuff. Um, Feel free to answer if not. Oh, now I got your question. You're a shake guy. Don't tell Jack. Oh, he's not into the shakes. Oh boy, he doesn't know, does he? Oh, he doesn't know, does he? Yeah, I do a shake. That shake is about 1,000 something calories, 1,200 calories. I work in the morning and I just wake up, grab a shake, make that shake, walk my dog, and then go to work. That's like my routine. Danny says the street interview chicks are merely reciting their Christmas wish list, nothing more. Yeah, not even a Christmas wish list because no woman has asked me um, about my net worth or how much I make. Obviously, there's ways around this. They'll ask you what I do, and they'll see where I live, and they're kind of like, okay, he's kind of well off. He's doing all right. But yeah. Wait, raw eggs are safe. Yeah, they're safe. I've never gotten sick. I've eaten like hundreds of raw eggs. So, yeah. So yeah, guys, any more questions or I'll end the stream. Anyways, yeah, thanks guys. The chat was great today. If you guys wanna tip something for my troubles until I get well, hold on. Until I get monetized, you can follow. I just put the link there, and then let me put in my link tree in the chat. If you guys want to join the Patreon, we got a couple new subscribers today in the Patreon. So if you're here, I will post something tonight. And if you have any questions, reach out to me on the Patreon, and I can like personal questions about your own life and how to date and all that stuff. And guys, like from now on, like this is the kind of stuff I want to give you guys, like the really nitty gritty stuff, the little hacks, um, to make dating fun and more and easier. Um, so uh, the red pill isn't about winning debates. It isn't about changing the country. It isn't about gotcha moments. It isn't about making women feel bad, or it isn't about misogyny. We don't care about any of that. It's about solutions. It's about point A to point B. It's a toolbox, right? We don't care about what so and so said to, don't get caught up in that. You want to win, you want to get laid, you want to move on with your life. That's it. It really is that simple. You want to have a happy marriage, happy relationship, happy plate spinning, whatever. Um, and the only way to do that is to really focus on the stuff that works and really focus on what you want instead of trying to live vicariously through other YouTubers and red pill celebrities, right? We got Alex saying Alex presses buttons. I love Post Zero. Yeah, Post Zero is fun. It's just younger guys talking about the topic at hand that just happened or whatever. Um, whatever is going on. But ultimately, guys, don't get caught up in consuming too much red pill stuff. I know it's fun, but take action. Do the stuff, get beat up out there, and then come back and report back and tell us how it went. Yep. And King Trust Issue says men swapping notes, ironing, sharpening iron, rhinestone. Yep. Anyways, guys, I'll leave you with that. We had a great showing today. 17. I had up to like 20 people in the chat. I've seen channels with 30,000 followers that can't even get 10 people engaged, right? I know they buy followers. It's pretty obvious. None of you are bought. You guys are here because you want to be. So I appreciate your time and effort being here. And if you guys have any questions about the book, comment below. Try to keep it between us. Don't like preach this to the masses. And then if you guys have a success story, please let me know and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you my success stories. So with that, guys, I'll leave you and take care. Have a good night.